shoulder. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away. I remember when I loved you before the world took me astray. Stuck behind a garbage truck. That stinks. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's a happy winter morning. Hey, good to see you, Hellhound. Oh, she didn't come to a complete stop. That's okay. Defensive driving. Be on the lookout. Is the hopefully the audio's okay. I'm getting all these messages on my thing about Bluetooth. Bluetooth. Oh, just driving up here to the park. I am laughing about the left. They're doing so much to try to justify that protest where they barged into the church. At what point going into a church disrupt the services are ever the good guys? Never. Audio's fine. Okay, good. Yeah, that was my worry because getting all those messages, and apparently our local donut shop is closed. So some people are freaking out. Oh, you were unbanned. Well, I did send him a thing. I thought it was BS that he lumped you into it. I think he just didn't like you. I got why I was suspended. I totally got it. But I was calling out someone for really bad behavior. And I even told him, I said, if she keeps spamming this group, I'm going to keep spamming her comments. I said, so if I were you, I recommend you make a rule. Because if she's going to do that, I'm going to do this. And he was upset about, well, you guys are all acting like children. Okay, well, sorry. But I was upfront and honest with him that, hey, because some of these people, they make these posts like they're talking to someone who's on a YouTube live, but they're in a Facebook live. It's like, just start a watch party, like start a thread, a reaction thread, and go with that. But no, they want to be seen, so they do individual posts. And what it does is other people who are making normal posts, like, are not getting seen because this person just wants to be heard. And it's like, you could do all that in one post. Oh, a lot of the old people. Is that? Oh, woman. That is not a kid stroller. I thought it was a kid stroller. Nope, it's a walker. Man, they got some crazy walkers. Oh, here's another one. They got like baskets and shit on it. Huh. They're making it convenient to have disabilities. Grab my little here. That's what she said. All right. Lock that down. And then I'll put my phone. Well, yeah, defending people's not against the rules. And that's the thing. That was the thing. I could understand if, like, you were breaking a rule, or if you were, like, skirting like pushing the limits of the rules. That I would have understood. But you weren't doing that. You just made a post calling someone out. I wasn't even making posts. I was just replying to people. So, but yeah, lots of butthurt people on Facebook. I don't give a shit about Facebook. If they deleted my account tomorrow, oh well. Oh well. My private one, I kind of wish they would delete it, to be honest. Um Only because I've got years of stuff on there that, it would take me too long to go through and delete it all. That's why I keep my personal page private, is because, like, there's pictures of, like, kids in my family and stuff like that. And, but I don't post that on my Veteran Nation account. So that one, is fine. But yeah, this whole thing with Minnesota, there, I've got a short coming out later on today. All the protesters are starting to carry guns. I support that. If I support the legal carry of firearms, but they say they're against ICE checking people's papers. Well, guess what? Minnesota law requires that if you're carrying in public, you need a carry permit. Good morning, Amanda. Yeah, if you're carrying in Minnesota, you need a carry permit legally, and they can stop you. They can stop you and check your permit. So these protesters who are against ICE stopping to check your papers, if you're going to start carrying a weapon, they legally, you can be stopped. So his phone, well, I mean, here's the thing. You can turn off notifications like that. Like, Facebook even lets you turn off notifications about a post. So, like what you were doing, you made one post. I would turn off notifications about that post and then go about my day. But what she was doing was making post after post after post. And I have to laugh because they think, "Oh, we got him now. He's suspended from the group." I don't care. Like, I don't care at all. I go about my day. They are going to arrest Don Lemon. I'd be shocked if they don't. It is. It was way too public, and, like, it was a clear violation of law. Hey, Joan. And, like, I am. You guys know, if you've been watching the show for a while, I'm not in favor of doing something to set an example of someone. Okay, but what you do have to do is you have to show people that the system works. If you, yeah, if you don't go through the process and show that, hey, this is the process, we're going to stick to the process. Um, if you don't do that, then you're showing people that, hey, certain people are above the law. And that was my whole problem with the January 6 people. Overcharging to make an example. No, you can't do that. Like, charging them with vandalism, trespassing, no problem. No problem. Take them into court. Uh, it'll suck for them. They'll have to pay money, but they'll learn a lesson. But when you start throwing them in solitary confinement, okay, and threatening to go after their family and going after, uh, you know, other benefits and stuff that they get, that's not right. That's not right. That's an over abuse. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally agree. Now, if they only charged, now there is not a federal statute for trespassing, so they can't charge for trespassing, and it didn't happen on government property. So yeah, but they can charge under the FACE Act and the Ku Klux Klan Act. I don't care if they're going to charge under one or the other. And here's the thing: charge them, accept a plea deal. I'm okay with that. I am 100% okay with that. I know some people are like, no, throw the book at them. No, do not overcharge. Do not over prosecute. Uh, just charge them and be like, no, well, we're going to hold you accountable. There you go. Same thing with Mark Kelly. He's been investigated under the UCMJ. He did violate the UCMJ without a doubt. Article 133, conduct unbecoming of an officer. Like, people don't understand that. All these people are like, he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't tell them to violate the law. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. He attempted to affect good order and discipline. He does not give orders. So guess what? He's guilty of conduct unbecoming. And yeah, should be held accountable to that. Now, here's the thing. Some people were like, knock him all the way down to E1. And no. He's a captain. So if they knocked him down to lieutenant commander and now he's getting paid less and retirement benefits, you screwed up. You made a mistake. Don't take away all of his benefits. Just knock him down and be like, no, we're holding you accountable. If you do it again, now you're going to get even more severe repercussions. That's how you do this. And I did see a thing yesterday. I'm going to comment on it. I'm just waiting. Matt Walsh is out there talking about Senator Kelly's VA disability, and he's 100% VA disabled. And he was saying he gets $5,000 a month. No. 100% VA disabled gets you $3,900 a month currently. It does change with COLA increases. And it also changes by how many dependents you have. So he's probably getting, he's married, so he has a dependent, so he's probably getting like $4,100 a month tax-free. I get similar, okay? 100% VA disability doesn't mean you, and this is what he was suggesting. He was like, how can he be a senator and he's 100% disabled? You're thinking of it through the lens of Social Security disability, like where you cannot work. With the VA, it's not a matter of can you not work. The 100% disability means the VA is 100% liable for your injuries, that you have been, you and your body and your mind have been affected enough that your whole life is affected, and the VA is taking responsibility for 100% of your 100% of your current, past, and future medical issues. That's what it is. And people don't understand that. A lot of veterans don't understand it. Like, it's a very complicated system. I get a lot of veterans who, they'll come to me and they're like, I want to get 100% VA disabled. Great. I'm willing to help you. And I'll ask them, what's your hard percentage? And they're like, 170%. That's not the way VA math works. What you have to do is you have to go line by line, because, like, let's say you're rated 70% on one issue. Yeah, you're 70% disabled, but then you're rated 50% on the next one. So you're 70% disabled, 30% not disabled. So that 50% now applies to the 30, which is 15%. So you take that 15, you add it on to 75. Your hard percentage is 85% disabled, round it up to 90, and you're going to be paid at 90. And that's how that works. And a lot of people have a lot of veterans have a hard time understanding it. But I encourage them to learn about it. The best, if you're a veteran or you have a veteran in your family, there's a guy out there he's got a YouTube channel, Combat Craig. One of the best guys. There's a lot of guys out there who try to explain it, but they're trying to, Little secret about YouTube: you're looking to do an 8-minute video because you're going to get the maximum monetization. They up front put all of the fluff. So you got to scroll through and fast forward through to find, okay, what do I actually need? Like, I see that a lot. Combat Craig does not do that. Um, I will say he does like little workshops and stuff where he does charge people. And hey, I respect the hustle. Good on him for doing that. I wouldn't pay for it, but because he gives all the knowledge away for free. You just have to sit there and watch his class. So, you know, I recommend that channel to a lot of veterans. I was talking with a guy up north the other day, and yeah, he was, well, my hard percentage is 160%. And I was like, okay, do you know the breakdown of it? Let's go through the breakdown. And he's a guy, he's actually at 90%. Yeah, yeah, it's a complicated system. The government makes it complicated. They do not want veterans to understand what it takes to get to 100%. Right now, I'm getting bombarded with several people who are like, they're going to lower our VA ratings, and they're sending me all this stuff. And I keep telling them, I'm like, first off, stop panicking. Uh, for instance, one guy is 100%, and I said, they're not gonna lower your ratings. Your ratings, your grandfather did. What they're doing is they're lowering the ratings for the veterans who are serving now or who haven't done claims yet. So every veteran, they need to put an intent to file, because if they put in an intent to file now, they get locked in. And if they lower those ratings, then they're gonna be locked in at the current rates. So that's one of the important things about an intent to file. An intent to file just is you telling the VA, I am going to put in a VA claim within the next year. But when you do that claim, you get back pay. So if I did an intent to file today, it's January 20th. And then 6 months down the road, they accept my claim. I get back pay to the first of this month. An intent to file is very, very important, but it also locks me into those rates. So if Congress changes the rates, uh, in the next budget bill, which will get passed, I'm seeing all these people. They're talking about another government shutdown. No, they're not. The government, I doubt it shuts down, because the Republicans can use reconciliation. It's either 1 or 2 times a year. Last year, the government shut down because the Republicans used it for the big, beautiful bill. So they didn't have it for the budget. This year, it's after January 1st. It resets. They can use reconciliation again this year. Reconciliation just means that they can vote on it with 51 votes. There's no filibuster. It's there. I am not one of these Republicans who's against or who's for getting rid of the filibuster. I'm not at all. Um, I think the filibuster is an important tool for this country. So even though Republicans are in charge right now, I do not want the filibuster gone. Uh, and with the budget, that you have reconciliation. So I don't see the government shutting down this year. I think they're going to do a budget bill, and yeah, that'll be it. Uh, what the budget looks like, I don't know. That'll be a totally different thing. Um, so yeah, that is. It's funny because I get all these worry warts who send me all this stuff. If would What if you had an accident off duty? They wouldn't be the military's fault. Okay, that's a great question, Nancy. If you are currently serving, if you are active duty, that is considered service connected, because when you join the military, you are essentially renting your body to the military. And anything that happens during your active duty service, yes. Now, for a reservist, they have to be in a drilling status. So they could be called to active duty. It could be something that happens at drill. It could be something, um, you know. Now it's a little bit funnier with that, because here's the other thing. if you have an injury and your service makes it worse, they're still responsible. That's still service connected. So if if I'm a reservist and I roll my ankle and it's a little bit tender, and then I go to drill, and the captain says, "Hey, we're all going to PT together. We're going to go on this run," and I say, "Hey, I got a bad ankle. I Can I sit this one out?" And they say, "No, you're going to run," and I hurt it worse. That's service connected. And this is why I tell everyone in the military, anyone in your family members, if they're still in the military, to send themselves emails about like, you can go to sick call, but they could screw up your paperwork. Send yourself an email, because that's a government record, about all of your injuries, even if they happened last year. It's called journaling. And emails are official government records. So if you send an email from your government account to your private account and say, "Hey, last year I had this surgery. The year before that I went to sick call for this," that, guess what? That service connects every single one of those injuries. And the days of the VA being able to say, "Oh, it's not in your record, so it doesn't count," that's done and over with. But it's easier to do that than to say, what they call a buddy lay statement, like going to my buddy, "Hey, do you remember when I rolled my ankle? Can you write me a statement about that?" It's easier than that. So, uh, the other thing I hear from a lot of guys who are in the military is they're very, very confident that they're going to get, uh, 100% disability, because, well, I've got these horrible, horrible knees. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Nope. You're getting 10%. If you're lucky, you're going to get 10% per knee. Muscular skeletal issues, if you're not in a wheelchair, you're probably not getting much. As long as it's not your own willful misconduct. Well, bull riding is not considered misconduct. Yeah, it has to be still in the line of duty. Now, if you were in an accident of a DUI, they would have to do a line of duty. What do they call it? Not a line of duty, like line of duty investigation. Uh, Bull riding's completely fine. That is considered lawful. It's like any other sport. You get injured playing football, it's service connected. The one big thing that they always want to know is, are you going parachuting? Because that's considered significantly dangerous. So that's a recreational activity that, if you get injured during it, it's possible that it wouldn't be service connected. But there's not a lot of those. The only time I've ever seen it really not service connected on a thing where they said, yeah, absolutely, was where someone went UA, unauthorized absence. AWOL is if you're gone for more than 30 days. But if you miss a movement, or you went on leave and you didn't come back on time, that's unauthorized absence. And yeah, like, if you get injured during that, it's very possible they won't service connect that, because you were not in a duty status. I've seen that before. And that comes down to the command on documenting. uh i've had I've always been a big proponent. I don't like when I see, and I'm dealing with this right now. I'm seeing a unit going after a Marine, who they're just going out of their way to get this Marine. And I was always against that, even when I was a captain. I would tell my staff NCOs, we don't need to build a case. They will build a case on themselves. Do not try to build a case, because then all it takes is for them to make the right allegation, and everything falls apart, or we have to go and start back at square one. Don't don't make a case against them. Let them make the case. And I had this happen. I had a Marine who he was on restriction, and he was caught inside the exchange. He was not allowed to be in the exchange. And the staff sergeant who caught him said, "What the F are you doing here? Get your ass back." And he was like, "Oh, staff sergeant, I'm on comrades," which means he doesn't have a chow hall card. He has to pay for his food. He's like, "I'm on comrades, so this is my appointed place of duty." And this staff sergeant like, "Oh, okay. Meet me in the captain's office." And the staff sergeant came to me, and we went through the paperwork. And our battalion screwed up the paperwork. They did not put list all the places he could not go on restriction. So the staff sergeant wanted him NJP'd again. And I said, Staff Sergeant, I understand. And I understand you're angry. I go, we're not going to do that. We are going to counsel him. We are going to document it. We're going to have battalion do the right paperwork and get him to sign the right paperwork. We're going to hold him accountable, maybe not in the way that you think. And he was really upset. And I was like, hey, this guy's a shitbird. He is going to screw up again. I go, but this way, he can't say that we're making a case against him. We're just counseling him. We're just saying, hey, you did this wrong. Do it right. That's all we're doing. But it's documented, it's in writing. So he wasn't happy about it. And I said, trust me on this. Just trust me. And the staff sergeant left. I brought the Marine in. He made some really crazy claims. Like said the staff sergeant wasn't respecting him as a person. I was like, what are you talking about? He's your supervisor. Um, so uh, I told him, I was like, you're gonna stay here in the office, and I gave him his counseling. He signed his counseling. He left. I called the battalion CEO. I was like, sir, you did that NJP, like you done the NJP that morning. I said, you did the NJP this morning. S1 screwed up the paperwork. It didn't say this. We caught him in the exchange. So he's like, what have you done about it? I said, I counseled him. I have the paperwork. We're adding that to his package. I've talked to the one. They're going to get me the new paperwork. We're going to have him sign it today. He is not to leave our office until he signs that paperwork. And the CEO was like, hey, good job. Good job. So, um, and then the very next day, see, whenever you get NJP'd, one of the first things they do is they do a urinalysis test. Well, if you say, hey, I'm an alcoholic or I'm addicted to drugs, if you say that, you're showing integrity. The military will send you to rehab and you will not get any bad paperwork. But if they drug test you, they're going to try to ADCEP you. Well, and you're going to get, you're not going to get most ADCEPs. You might not get a BCD, bad conduct discharge, but you might get like general under honorable. But we call the BCD the big chicken dinner. And he had popped on his piss test. So because I'd counseled him and all this stuff, we weren't going for an ADCEP anymore. Now it was pattern of misconduct. He was getting a BCD. He was not going to get any VA rights. He was not going to be able to call himself a veteran the rest of his life. And he built that case all on his own. One of my sons sent me pictures of where he got hit in the face with shrapnel during a training exercise. It was a piece of tiny wood. Anytime he got hurt, he sent me pictures and messages. That's perfect. That is considered journaling. The VA denied him because it was not fulfillment of duty. They took care of him until he got out. He should appeal. Yeah, appeal. Here's the thing. The VA hates appeals because they normally know if they deny the appeal, they're getting a lawsuit. So they better make sure that they're good on those appeals. That's why the VA is screwing with veterans less and less because there's been so many lawsuits. Like if you say you have PTSD, they're gonna take it because there's been too many suicides. Hey guys, I got to get going. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this and learned something. And feel free, if you have any questions, if you're watching on replay, send me your questions. I'm happy to answer them. And as always, thank you for being worth serving.